What is going on, guys and girls who are out here in the mess? Gotta get the shop cleaned up this morning. I just want to say thanks for the guys that replied on the Nova video there. I got the core support moved back and everything lines up real good. I got the front clip lined up. I'm unbolting it now. I'm gonna pull that back off. Now that I know everything fits, pull the doors off and cut them in, and then we'll bolt the doors back on after we do the jams and such, and bolt the front clip on after that. And I want to paint the firewall over, so that's where I'm at on that one. And I have been working on it a little bit. Got this tank going over here. Somebody asked if I took the vents out. No, that's what I had the tape for. Here's the masking tape trip with the Bondo. You can see it doesn't stick to the tape. So if you got something you want to cover up, you know, and don't want to dig the Bondo out, I didn't want to have to sand these little things and cut my fingers up. So I just covered that for the first spread. And now for the glazing putty on the next spread there, I'll spread it and leave those untaped and then feather everything back. There's not much of a line there though, but that way I didn't fill all that in. So working on Hans's motor a little bit, got his stuff cleaned up over here on the pile of poo. This is why I got to clean the shop. Here's his pistons and rings. Pretty beefy little 4-cylinder for sure. Here's the connecting rods. I got the one rod back. It's in the house. The rod bearing fits real nice and everything now. This is a real low mileage motor. Floating pins, bushed on the little end. Good bolts. So told him if he cleaned the shop up, I might assemble that for him today sometime, but right now I'm just kicking everything. I can't even walk in here. So we gotta clean up. Get reorganized. All the stuff from the bus there, and I had somebody leaving a comment about their bus running hot. So that they fire it up in the morning and it runs fine, and when they get somewhere it won't restart. And oddly enough, I'm having that same issue. So I'm gonna do a little series on how to fix that. I've been sort of hard-headed, you know, you're always hard-headed with your own stuff. I bought all new stuff for this bus when I put it together. It's a new motor. I bought a new engine case. Had a really good, nice set of single port heads that I used on it with brand new Mahle piston cylinders. It's pretty much a new motor. Bought a new carburetor, new generator, new fuel pump. The generator went out the first block. Got that replaced now. And the charging system seems to be working okay. I still have electrical issues on my dash with getting all my lights and stuff going. But back to the overheating issue. I've sort of been reluctant to tackle it. You know, I've been going around the problem. I put a couple of batteries in it. Bought 2 new starters there, or not new ones, but this is a starter that was on it. It's not that old. It's a gold one that I painted black, and it just quit working altogether. This is another thing that a lot of people do when they have a hard time with them starting. They'll put the Ford solenoid on there and bypass the factory one. This draws a lot less amps, and you loop this up. If you go over to Bronco Carl 92, he made a nice video on how to hook these up. Gene Berg used to sell a little starter booster kit, and that's pretty much what it consists of, Ford solenoid. So the battery's not the issue. Starters aren't the issue. What is the issue is the carburetor, of all things. So most people wouldn't look here for an overheating problem. This is a new Solex carburetor. It is a little crusty because it's been on there and it sat around the body shop for a while, but it is new. You can see the internals are nice and shiny. It's not very old. It's got the 300 miles on that I put on the bus now, and the bus runs hot. I didn't put a gauge on the bus because I really didn't want to know how hot it was going to run, but it's got to be where we can drive it. So the problem here is the carburetor is lean and it does not have enough jet from the factory. This is a Solex Brozo replacement carburetor. This is the small one if you have a Super Beetle or a dual port motor, but for a single port engine it's the perfect size. So a lot of the guys will cheat the bigger carburetor onto the single port, and I probably should have done that or gone with dual carbs for sure. But the intake manifolds are really hard to find for the Cadrons, and the only person that I know that has a set is Scooter. And I've asked him a couple times. He said he'd sell me a set, but he's never gone and pulled them out of the back room. So for now, I'm stuck with a 1 barrel. We're gonna have to open this up. We're gonna have to drill the main jet. The problem with the carburetors is the fuel. The ethanol fuel, the jet's just not big enough to support the motor with calories. You get a big flat spot. It's real sensitive in the morning when the car's cold. Even with the choke on, it runs sort of crappy till the motor gets some heat in it. And all those are signs of the motor being too lean. You know, if you have the choke on in the morning, and the motor should run perfectly smooth with the choke. And if it doesn't, you're probably more than likely don't have enough fuel jet. So I suspect that's the heat. We're gonna give it a little jet, see if we can correct the problem with this carburetor. I've got a couple of these on the bench. I got to try to find my drill set for my jets, and we need to drill that jet out, go up a couple steps, and see if we can take some temperature out of the motor. What's up, Miss Sparkles? But that's definitely the issue. I've tackled this before on other people's buses, and I do have a customer that I did a carburetor for, and he didn't like the gas mileage. Me personally, I don't really care about the gas mileage. I want to be able to drive the vehicle and not have it overheat. So the gas mileage really is an issue for me. So I might go grab that carburetor from Chip and throw that on there. He says it ran really good. It just killed his mileage. And the mileage will definitely go down when you put the right jet in it, obviously. But gas mileage will cost you the engine. You know, you should be able to drive these things and put your hand on the pulley. If you can't put your hand on your pulley or touch your case after you drive it for, you know, 10 or 15 miles, then you're doing damage to your engine. You should definitely be able to grab this pulley or touch the case. That's too much heat if you can't. What is it, girl? What do you think? So anyway, that's where we're at. We don't have any oil leaks or anything. You know, we haven't got it really overheated or anything yet. It's just a little too much temperature to get up on the interstate and cruise anywhere. The other real issue with these buses, now that I own one and have drove one, other than just working on them in the driveway, the transmissions are junk. You're not gonna get any service out of that 3 rib there. 5 rib is what I'm looking for. I put one in Chip's bus. Makes it completely different, completely drivable. People often come here. Sorry for shaky cam, guys. But people will come here and they'll ask me, hey, if you build me a motor for my bus, how fast will I be able to drive it? And you know, I always tell them 65 at least. And I think top speed with a 3 ribs probably closer to 55. I don't care whose motor you got. It's just buzzing the motor back there. Now I don't have a tack in this yet. I need to put a tack. That'll be the next step. You know, I'm doing something that I hate. You know, I'm trying to tune this thing with no gauges, and that's the last thing you want to do. I should have a cylinder head temperature gauge and an oil temperature gauge, so I know that if we're making gains or we're going the wrong way. So I might incorporate the temperature dipstick there and put that in, the oil dipstick, and that'll give us a rough idea of how hot it's getting, how fast, and we'll go with that. But the big problem is definitely the tranny. No kind of highway speed at all out of that gearbox. It's limited to about 55. Now I have had to bust up to 70, 75. But I think the motor's probably turning at about 42, 4,500. And non-counterweighted crank just won't hold up to that very long. You know, it'll probably go 50, 60,000 miles like that, but there's not going to be anything left when we go to freshen it. So we got to get that under control, get the RPM down a little bit in high gear, and give the motor some fuel. So that's what we'll be working on first, is the fuel. So we got a little more cleaning to do in here. Hopefully Hans will get out of bed. He wants some kind of dance prom, I don't know, whatever. I told him we need to assemble the big block and get it put in the Nova. And then I can put his motor in his stand. So I gotta pick some freeze plugs up and get some parts and find a couple hours and finish assembling that. I want to get this toolbox out of this back corner and get all this crap cleaned up in the back of the Bermuda Triangle here. So got some engine cases here I'm going to get rid of. I'm probably not going to build these motors. I'm just going to pass them on to somebody. They're all big motors and nobody buys big motors anymore. So that's where we're at. It's the headers for the Nova, some hookers, super competitions. I'll go with those flow masters on the end of those. Should be pretty cool. Anywho, thanks for all the comments and stuff. I know I haven't been answering the comments lately, and it's usually when I don't feel good when I don't answer comments, because I don't get along with people, so nobody wants to be around me. So Andrew is not very helpful when I'm in a bad mood. But anyway, I'm going to try to answer some of those comments. So I got to bring the laptop out here and do an answer the question video. But a lot of you guys are just telling me looks good, or stuff like that, and I appreciate the comments, because it does make the channel a little more attractive. There's a few comments on the videos and stuff, and people are interacting. But I try to answer your questions in these videos. That's the easiest way for me. So, and somebody did ask me about the bus, so I figure I'll do a little series on that, and we'll get the temperature down together. I have other buses running around out there, and the one that we just put the exhaust on and made the mount for, Chip's bus, he loves it. He's got the dual K-Drons with a 1776, and ever since we put the 5-rib in his, he's just been it's been a different bus. You can drive it on the interstate, cruises about 70 now. So transmission's definitely an upgrade that if you're a bus owner you should definitely look at, probably before a lot of things. Just never realized how inadequate the transmissions are in these as far as getting up on the interstate. Now if you're just driving around town, you're fine, but anything over 55 miles an hour, it's hanging the tongue out, baby. So that's where we're at. Rest of the yard cleaned up, been working on that. Got the pool looking good. Some of this cleaned up out here. Still working on it. It's a work in progress. So got this going. Got these for the tomato plants. What's up, Holly?
Hello.
Swimming in the pool? Yeah. You got some of this back here. Yeah, I gotta get out here and get rid of the bags and cut the grass. Well, the pool looks pretty good. How's it feel?
It's nice. It gets a little cold. It's a little colder to get in.
I had to turn the heater off. It got a leak in it.
I know. I've missed our heaters.
Some more plants. Look out here. I got that cleaned up. And working on this over here. I go with the garden over here. Gardening. Gonna do a garden probably to the corner of the house. To the house. I don't know. Yep. Some vegetables and stuff. But anyway, it's getting there. Still a long way to go. It's quite the mess back here. Gotta get my weed eater going. Gotta do something with this hill up here. But we're working on it.
Hey, Daddy, can you push me later?
Push you in. Maybe I'll go swimming with you later.
If I'm still in the pool. But yeah.
Actually went in the pool there the other day and paid for it for a couple days. Couldn't move. I was in bed for a couple days after swimming because
Haley said you always been swimming.
I used to swim all the time, but I'm not strong enough anymore, so it just kills me now.
You need to get on some weights other than doing cars.
What?
You need to get on some weight bench, not stop doing car stuff.
Get on the weight bench.
Yep, and stop doing car stuff.
Mm.
Because those weights are rusting the concrete.
Well, those are Hans's weights, not mine.
He never uses them, so it's barely anybody.
All right, jump in, give a splash for the YouTubers. My little fish. There you go. All right, thanks, Holly. Say goodbye.